What is the most useless fact you know? Beavers potty train their young. And sometimes after they move out of their parents' basement, the parents will come downstream and help the youngster build his dam so that he can attract a mate. And they will even come years later sometimes. It's nice when parents give a domasseur. There are 3 golf balls on the moon. Someone's got one hell of a swing. Alan Shepard. Apollo 14. I believed it was one-handed because of the limitations of the spacesuit. Also, I thought it was 2 golf balls. Damn. Not only did he hit them to the moon one-handed, he was also an astronaut. An impressive man. He's probably scored a 17 on an 18-hole round too. Dumpster is a brand name. Like Kleenex. Update. 2 people pointed out that the trademark was cancelled in 2015. So for the other 2 people who suggested my mom trademark the name Coom Dumpster, I suppose now she could. And rollerblade and jacuzzi. And popsicle. Seahorses are some of the most effective ocean predators, as 95% of their hunts are successful. Elephants can move their skin to crush mosquitoes between their rolls of skin. Is it possible to learn this power? Asterisk my 600 pounds life has entered the chat asterisk. It takes 11-20 licks and a boring, long car trip to completely remove the candy coating from around the Tootsie Pop, fully exposing the Tootsie Roll center. Edit. I recognize that this is a different criteria than the query originally issued by the commercial. To get to the center implies the first time breaking the surface of the candy coating. Judging by the comments, this seems more around 200 to 500 licks. My criteria for completion was different, but I do regret not stopping to note the more popular criteria for success. Edit 2. Yes, tongue length and width will likely make a difference. In my case, I remember trying to take fairly uniform licks that were roughly 1.5 to 2 inches of a relaxed, which allows for greater width of tangential contact surface. Doing a single pass. Now that I reflect, it was likely more Tootsie Pop being pulled over the tongue than the other way around. All outside of the actual oral cavity, to prevent interference with cheeks, lips, and general humidity. Occasional nom-nom-nomming of the mouth to refresh the palate, saliva, and remove extraneous sugar from the licking surface. The information we need, but not deserve. Thank you for your service. Yoda and Miss Piggy were both voiced by the same person. Frank Oz fans rise up. Horses can't throw up. If they do, they're close to death. Useless information for me. I have a horse girlfriend. She says horses are very fragile creatures and are always close to dying over something stupid. I've owned horses my whole life, and I'm almost 50, so that's saying something. It's like they actively try to find ways to die. It's correct they can't throw up. They can colic very easily, and it can kill them, monsieur. They can break legs just from running in the pasture. I know one that fell and died instantly from breaking his neck while running with his buddies. They are beautiful creatures, but fragile in that sense. In contrast, despite being half horse, mules are one of the toughest and most resilient creatures around. In many places in the Western Hemisphere, they've been used for centuries to protect livestock from wolves, coyotes, and mountain lions, because they are borderline fearless and will kick and stomp just about any predator to death. You'd better be a grizzly bear if you want to fuck with a mule. As my guide once told me, you can teach a horse to jump over a cliff, but you can't with mules. Their self-preservation overpowers commands. The Stegosaurus is as ancient to the Triceratops as the Triceratops is to us. I'm like 40 useless facts into this thread, and this one is the most mind-blowing by far. Putting time frames into perspective like that is just crazy to me. Then there's the oft-repeated fun fact that Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landings than to the construction of the Great Pyramid. The dot over the I and J is called a tittle. That name makes me titter. Ohio is the only U.S. state that doesn't share any letters with the word mackerel. It's also produced more astronauts than anywhere else. So there is something about the state that makes people want to leave the fucking planet. An ostrich's eye is bigger than his brain. Till I have something in common with an ostrich's. Greater than with an ostrich is confirmed. The line between the two numbers in a fraction is called the vinculu, monsieur. There's a fine line between the numerator and the denominator. Tasmanian devils got their name due to their howling. Early European settlers heard them howl during the night and thought it was the devil coming for the monsieur. I would literally shit myself if I heard their howl, day or night. Obsidian is so sharp that it can cut your DNA. Not so useless. The machine I used to prep slides of biological material for an electron microscope used broken glass as a blade. Whoever made that tool was napping on the job. Liechtenstein is the world's largest producer of false teeth. A truly useless fact. I like this one. Brazil requires all customs documentation to be filled out in blue ink. Blue makes it easier to assume the document is not a photocopy. But color copies exist. Keeping your rubber bands in the fridge will make them last longer. Well duh, you're not using them as your gasoline will last longer if you keep it in the fridge too. BMWs have turn signals. Tapirs have a prehensile penis similar to an arm. And it's longer than they are. It directly puts semen in the cervix. Well, that's efficient. The barnacle is an animal with the biggest penis length to size ratio. Stop calling me a barnacle. You must be extremely short then. All the swans in England belong to the Queen. It is also illegal in UK to handle a salmon suspiciously. Curious as to what does suspicious mean in UK when comes to salmon. When hippos shit their tails spin, which brings a whole new meaning to shit hit the fan. Spread the love, baby. There are more homosexual giraffes than there are heterosexual ones. Male giraffes will also headbutt a female in the bladder until she urinates. Then it tastes the pee to help it determine whether or not the female is ovulating. Same. I laughed and now have to pee. Is this another one of your tricks? Looks like it. I'd put a security camera in your toilet if I were you. Eugene J. Weigel created the 8 to 5 step. You march 8 steps every 5 yards. For marching bands as the director of the Ohio State University Marching Band. As someone who loved marching band in high school, and did all 4 years, this takes the cake as a useless fact. This needs to be much higher, but thank you for this knowledge. You can get arrested for whale fishing in Nebraska. Also Utah, as a matter of fact. Interesting, so many landlocked states have that kind of law. Pistol shrimp capture its prey by snapping its claw, which creates a tiny bubble filled with nothing, which of course rapidly cavitates in a process that briefly creates temperatures as hot as the surface of the sun. Casually plasma bombs fish. A second is called a second because it is the second division, pars minuta secunda, of the hour by 60. The first division being a minute, pars minuta prima. Bulls get aroused watching another bull mount a cow, but they get more aroused watching two females mount each other. Bulls love lesbian porn. The fruit fly Drosophila bifurca is only a few millimeters in size but produces almost 6 centimeters long sperm, monsieur. If we escalated it to human size, a 6-foot-tall man would have a sperm 120 feet long. Bananas are berries. So are watermelons, and cucumbers, and aubergines, but not strawberries or raspberries. And my axe. The word horny came from a Greek god named Faunus who had a horn. He was the Greek god of fertility. Edit. My bad guys, I am WRONG. Please ignore and carry on with your regularly scheduled programming. Was the horn below his hips? Almost all mammals larger than a rat take the same amount of time to empty their bladder, with the time averaging 21 seconds. I wonder who found this out. Imagine going to the bathroom, and next to you your cat goes into its litter box. Then you both finish roughly at the same time and you go, huh, that was odd. Franz Pistheimer in the 14th century. Edit. Oh cool. Silver. Thanks. For more information on Franz Pistheimer, visit your local library and urinate for exactly 21 seconds. While maintaining eye contact with the librarian, she'll know what it means. An acronym is when you say the word it represents, like NASA or NATO. It creates a new word. An initialism is a subset of acronym, where each letter needs to be pronounced CEO or HDMI. Edit. I can't believe I took the time to defend the most useless fact I know. The spelled out form of an acronym or initialism, that is, what it stands for, is called its expansion, Wikipedia. Of course they're both abbreviations. I don't get it. Do you not pronounce CEO as CEO and HDMI as HDMI cable? Greater than HDMI as HDMI cable? What? A HDMI cable and you'll never find it? Snapple bottle caps have useless facts on them, monsieur. Greater than Snapple bottle caps have useless facts on them, monsieur. I would love it if they had this as one of the facts. A pig's orgasm can last up to 30 minutes. The dot over the letter I is called a tittle. Barbie's full name is Barbara Millicent Roberts. Lego has an underground vault which contains every set ever made. Edit. Okay, that's more than one, but I don't know if I'll get another chance to share my useless knowledge. Whoa, I need to know more about this Lego vault. Asterisk dreamt is the only word in the English language that ends with mouth. Asterisk. Creamed. Dearest maiden fine and fair, I dreamt I creamed in your hair. The maiden awoke with a shock, whom stiff creamsty in mine locks. 'Twas I, the human fruit fly, I'm 6 feet tall with sperm 120 feet high. A duck's penis is in the shape of a corkscrew. However, a duck vagina is in the shape of a corkscrew but turns other direction, making it more difficult for male ducks to rape females. The vagina even had dead ends to further fool the male. Dead ends and false wombs. BRB releasing an album doesn't stop the monsieur. I live by a river and can confirm that male ducks will rape anything even vaguely duck-shaped or sized. Dead ducks, live seagulls, abandoned shoes, bundles of driftwood, anything really. So this fact boils down to, duck rape has historically been such a problem that evolution had to intervene. WTF, male ducks. Can't confirm with ducks, but I have seen swans get it on and I legit thought they needed a referee. It looked like a UFC fight on the bank of a lake. I was worried he was strangling her, but then after a minute she seemed into it. So when they screw, does the male duck have to turn, or does the penis spin like a power drill? Asking the real questions. Color blindness affects on average 1 in 12 men and 1 in 200 women. The reason for this is because genes for the red and green color receptors are located on the X chromosome. Men have only one X chromosome but women have 2. The airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, European, is 11 meters per second or 24 miles per hour. What about an African swallow? Well, I don't know that. A lethal dose is a lifetime supply. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.